Careful what you say, John. They're getting you now.
Yeah, they're recording everything. Well, talking about changing things, I talked to a client of mine this morning. You want to talk about somebody that must be a glutton for punishment? He's bought a big boat and he's fixing to take a cruise for a year.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, more power to him, right?
Is he good
Now,
himself?
I did not ask him if he plans on selling the boat when he gets back, but
Does he have a crew for the boat?
pardon me?
Is it a crew for the boat, or?
I don't know how big the boat is. I just know that he told me this morning that the boat is supposed to be delivered this month. So
Well, that's exciting for him.
he told me what he was doing. He had something on his bucket list. More power to him. I like going on boats that other people own because I can go home afterwards.
Okay, Kim, we got 9 people on board,
Okay.
and one of them is Timaquana.
Well, I see Raul was there, so that'll be
Raul,
exciting.
that guy's everywhere. He's a dynamic individual.
Yes, he
Love
is.
him. I
Yeah.
love his enthusiasm, his exuberance. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's been a good addition to the club.
Yes, he has. It's a Stan Cantor proposal.
Right. Stan's a good man.
Mm-hmm. So Jerry, I guess since this is my first Zoom, I guess at some point they come on and say, okay, we're starting the meeting, and Zoom people mute yourselves.
Yes, they will. They'll mute you, I think.
Okay.
But they ask you to mute yourselves and communicate questions through the chat.
Ah, okay. As slow as I type, by the time I entered my question, the meeting would be well over and closed out probably.
You know, when we had nothing but Zoom, they were sending us to breakout groups.
Right, I remember that.
And that was like sitting at a table and visiting
Yep.
with 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
You never knew who you were going to be thrown in with. They just, as you signed in, they popped you into a table. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Got an opportunity to meet some other people.
Mm-hmm.
Or get to know them. Anyway.
Yeah.
.12:41. They usually start about 12:45.
Okay.
give or take 5 minutes. Joe Springer's done a good job of handling this Zoom situation.
Yeah. Yeah, we were fortunate that he wanted to come back when he moved, you know, when
Yeah,
he
we
changed
really
jobs.
were.
Yeah.
Welcome to the March 23rd meeting of the Rotary Club of West Jacksonville. Zoom attendees, please mute yourself. Submit any questions or comments via the Zoom chat function. Our invitation. Oh. All right. Our invocation will be given by Mark Eldridge, and Robert Povecka will lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. Let us pray. Father, we thank you for another day to be alive, to serve you. We pray for our world and just for peace. Lord, we particularly lift up our Rotary meeting today. Help us to appreciate our opportunity to serve, to change lives as Rotarians this year. And we particularly lift up Edward Waters College and what it's meant to our city and state, and we pray that you bless the college and our speaker today. Thank you for the food we've eaten, and we pray all this in your name. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of the nation, indivisible.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Rahul, for a greeting today. The Bloodmobile's out back. You're excused to go to the Bloodmobile. Once again, we're competing with the Riverside Club. They had a pretty good turnout this morning. So if you haven't given blood yet, go out now. If you've given blood already, use a different name. Drink a lot of water. Next social's coming in May. That will be a joint event. Us and the Riverside Club will do that together. The winning club from the blood drive today gets their drinks on the house, actually on the other club. So once again, donate blood. Thank you, Tom Schneider, for organizing the blood drive, not only for organizing the blood drive for us, for organizing the blood drive for the Riverside Club, the Timaquana staff. It's going to be a big day today at the Bloodmobile. So great work. We have a lot of special guests today. And Dr. Faison will be on Zoom, do our presentation today. Great program next week. I'll share the details later. I'd ask Palmer Bell to come up for Family of Rotary.
Lee Davis couldn't be here today, so I am pinch hitting for her. And as often happens in situations like this, it's a hugely active week for Family of Rotary. First, we have congratulations to Jeff Collins. Jeff has organized a relocation for a company building out space. It's called Lock Tech. Is that right, Jeff? And the Lock Tech is in the, I remember it from ergonomic desks and building workstations and so forth. So it's a manufacturing operations that's coming to town. It's another reminder of how involved members of this club are in making Jacksonville a home for others. So that's a great bit of work. Unfortunately, Jackie Culver has sad news to share. Her father-in-law recently passed away early March. And with his passing, her mother-in-law has moved in with them and she has dementia. So they're becoming primary caregivers in their home and may need help from others of us to understand what options there are for them to get care for the mother-in-law. So please keep Jackie and the family in your prayers. And one of the things that I've noticed, and maybe you have too, is with the pandemic and our use of Zoom, we haven't had a turnout like this in forever. So congratulations for being back in the room, but also it leads me to think of the members that you expect to see here because of their past with the club. And I was thinking last week of Admiral Tom Watson, and then Dan was just telling me at the table that he touched base with him today or recently, and Tom is fine, but his wife is battling Alzheimer's or dementia. And so that's one of the reasons we don't see some people. The pandemic is part of it, but then we lose connection. It's so easy for people to just unplug. And as a club, we're not in the business of unplugging people. Keep in touch with them. I spoke today with Clayton Riley, who is doing well, wanted to be remembered to all of you. And he's going to try to get here at least once a month to reconnect with the club. But all that to say, keep in touch with the people that you have come to know and care about through the club, because it's important. Birthdays this week, Clint Dawkins, there's another one. Clint, I think they're relocated up into the mountains, so we don't see Clint very often, but his birthday is Friday. Bob Hyde is on Sunday, and Joe Springer is next week, next Tuesday. So happy birthday to all of you. And most likely you did not see this in the news. Facts, I'm fairly certain you did not see in the news that the CEO and president of Luden's throat lozenges passed away. If you're going to the funeral, realize there's no coffin.
That was a fantastic Family of Rotary right up to the dismount. All right. The bringer of joy, Rahul Sharma. Oh, Jimmy Kelly.
Just quickly, I forgot to mention it to Palmer, which I'm glad I did. I didn't want anything to do with that often. But keep my wife Cindy in your prayers. She had rotator cuff Monday, and she's doing very well, except she's not real happy with the position they've got her arm in. And I'm playing nurse, and I'm catching hell. So keep me in your prayers too.
Okay, I would like to call bringer of joy, Rahul Sharma, to the mic for the Sergeant of Arms report, followed by Tim Johnson to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, President Sherlock. And I'm so glad to be back with my Rotary brothers and sisters after missing last week. Thank you for reaching out to me. Family's doing great. I needed a Rotary recharge today. So great to be with you guys today. Great to be with you guys today. I have the privilege every week, especially when I'm present, to introduce wonderful friends in the community, visiting Rotarians, family members, and guests, and the Rotarian leadership all-stars that are joining Rotary Club West Jacksonville today. From the Rotary Club of Orange Park, Krista Candlish is here. Krista, please stand for an ovation. Krista, welcome. From the Rotary Club of Downtown Jacksonville, Bill Sorensen is here. Bill, please stand. Bill, welcome. Past president of the Rotary Club of Downtown Jacksonville is also here with us. Jerry Kelly, glad to have you again with us. Jerry, please. Thank you. And from the Rotary Club of Northwest Jacksonville, glad to have you here. He's going to be taking a lot of notes today because his club is a newborn club. Pastor Desi Pollard is with us. Desi, please stand. Welcome, Desi. Welcome. Family, friends that are joining us today, I want to make my way over to Tom Schneider, who would like to introduce his lovely bride that's present on the grounds, but not at the table, Tom.
Right. So my wife, Nancy, is here. You'll see her eating her dinner maybe a little bit later. She's giving blood right now. And then can I introduce Scott? Please do. Please do. And then with us today is Scott Showalter of One Blood. He and his team are collecting a lot of pints today, some from the Riverside Club, as Ike shared, and some from ours right now. So good to have him here. And I hope you can meet these two gentlemen from the downtown club too at some point. Be great to get One Blood out to one of your meetings.
Well done, Tom. Well done. How about another round of applause for Tom Schneider and Scott Showalter. Scott, we appreciate you very much. Gigi Carroll, special thanks for inviting Krista Candlish to our club today. We appreciate her. Marshall Butler makes friends more than anyone else that I know. And so, Marshall, you have a new friend that you'd like to introduce to our club. Marshall.
Absolutely. Got a question for you. What's in your wallet? I'd like to introduce you to Stuart Cosgrove. She is the VP of Commercial Credit Cards for Capital One.
Stuart, welcome. Welcome to our club. President Sherlock, you have a guest today visiting us with us today.
Oh, Stephen Rowland. Yes. Yep. Stephen around?
Yes, he is. Stephen Rowland is right behind you. Stephen, please stand for an ovation here. Stephen Rowland joining us. Stephen, welcome. Tim Johnson, I have a bias. I have a lot of favorite Rotary members. Tim is one of them. Tim, introduce your lovely bride.
My lovely bride, Dr. Atia Johnson. Say hi to her.
Thank you, Tim. I'll be tossing the mic back over to you to introduce our guest speaker here in just a moment. Before I share the highlight of my segment, I'd like to also thank our Rotary broadcast engineer that puts on every webcast every week. How about a round of applause for Joe Springer? Our Rotary Club of West Jacksonville air traffic control team of Patty Chapman and Stu Irwin. How about a round of applause for them for always ensuring that members arrive safely and depart safely as well. I know I've had a really questionable comedic career. I know I haven't met expectations of making everyone laugh, but one thing I can guarantee is energy and inspiration. Energy and inspiration. And I have to give credit to our member development committee because they are so focused in making sure that the health of our club for future years is set on a trajectory that we have unbelievable expectations for. They spent a lot of time identifying future leadership. So today's message is for the future of our Rotary Club here at West Jacksonville. And it goes something a little bit like this. To our young Rotary leadership here joining us, there will be an awakening one day, and a vision from out of the blue will fall upon you. A new world will begin, where all people of the earth will live in freedom. a freedom to walk unafraid, to speak freely without fear, to love and to be loved, to bear the fruit of the earth, to aspire to greatness, to lead the unfortunate to a new life, rich with opportunity, to learn and to work hard, and to have just rewards for one's labor, to teach, and in the teaching, bring new inspiration to those who will follow in the footsteps that you will leave in the sands of time. Go forth unafraid and with dignity. That is from past District Governor Sonny Holt, one of the great leaders of our country. How about a round of applause for our young future Rotarians making an impact in the movement. Thank you guys so much, President Ike. That concludes my Sergeant of Arms report. At this time, I'd like to bring up Tim Johnson to introduce our speaker for today. Tim.
Let's have a hand for Raul. A lot of enthusiasm. I've got a vision as I become deeper into leadership. I've got a vision of Rodney Dangerfield and Don Rickles. I don't know. Maybe we'll bring them in the pinch hit for this guy every now and then. So how are my fellow Rotarians today? I pray that you're well. I'm excited about introducing Dr. Zachary Faison Jr. to all of you. This presentation has been a long time in coming. We've had a long relationship with Edward Waters, and it's exciting to have him as our luncheon speaker. And it's exciting to have many of his students who are Rotaractors participating as well. So founded in 1866, Edward Waters College is distinctly the state of Florida's first independent institution of higher learning, as well as Florida's first higher educational institution established for the purpose of educating African-American students. Dr. Faison, the 30th president and CEO of Edward Waters, is the youngest president of a historically Black college or university in America. As Edward Waters' leader, Dr. Faison has led the conceptualization, development, and implementation of an ambitious institutional strategic plan titled Eminence 2025, in which he and his staff have eliminated the college's multi-million-dollar operating deficit. They've led to a $3.7 million surplus, the first in over a decade. They've raised the college's admission standards while simultaneously stabilizing institutional enrollment. They've secured a recurring $3.5 million increase in the college's state funding allocation. They've paved the way for new academic programs, including the first ever graduate degree program. They positioned Edward Waters to earn university status, and they've renovated the university's largest student resident facility. And they've also put $4.3 million into a new renovation of the college's first ever on-campus academic or athletic stadium. Join me. We got to give them some encouragement for all those achievements. So let's talk a little bit more about Dr. Faison. Equally notable, under President Faison's leadership, the institution secured an innovative corporate partnership with Follett Higher Education Group to provide seven-figure philanthropic support through and including the furnishing of new personal Chromebook laptop computers to be owned by every new first-time, full-time student at Edward Waters through the year 2025. Under his leadership, the institution established the inaugural Honors College at Edward Waters, securing an initial freshman student cohort boasting an average of a 4.0 GPA and nearly 1150 on the SAT, as well as debuting the Center for Undergraduate Research and the Reverend H. Pierce Summer Institute and Bridge Program. Lastly, in July 2019, Dr. Faison led the EWC in earning an invitation from NCAA Division II member Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference to join the conference beginning in 2021, while also adding 3 new sports to the institution, including for the first time ever, women's soccer, men's and women indoor track programs as well. They all began in the fall of 2020. He's a native of Atlanta, Georgia. President Faison's career includes distinguished professional experiences in higher education as an executive administrator, educator, also as an attorney. He was most recently the general counsel and vice president of external affairs at Tuskegee University, where he served as the university's chief legal counsel and provided principal oversight for its legislative and governmental relation functions. He's a scholar and an educator. He's had professional appointments at both the undergrad and graduate levels. He has various academic disciplines under his belt, including political science, criminal justice, and business administration. He's also a former state prosecutor, having served as an assistant district attorney prosecuting criminal felony drug cases under the auspices of the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia. He graduated magna cum laude from Albany State University with a bachelor's degree in English. He attended the University of Georgia Law School, where he earned his Juris Doctorate. He also maintains active membership in various local, national, civic, professional, and community organizations. Now, in February 2020, he was appointed by Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry to serve as a member of the JEA. He also serves as a trustee member of the Jax Chamber. He's a member of the Civic Council. He is a Leadership Jacksonville graduate. He was recently named as an institutional director of UNCF Board of Directors. And most importantly, he's a member of the Rotary Club of Jacksonville. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Zachary Faison.
Well, good afternoon, and greetings to everyone. I am so very excited to at long last have the opportunity to have some dialogue and some fellowship with my fellow Rotarians here at the West Club of Jacksonville. I bring you greetings from the Rotary Club of downtown Jacksonville, and certainly to President Sherlock. It's great to be with you virtually and all of our fellow Rotarians today. So I'm delighted to share just a little bit of information with you. I want to assume that everyone knows the prodigious history of Edward Waters University, formerly Edward Waters College, as it's known throughout our city, our state, and our nation. But I've prepared a little PowerPoint. I hope you all can see it there coming up on your screen. And so I want to just kind of talk a little bit about the history of Edward Waters first, and then some of the contemporaneous relevance and some of the really exciting recent developments that have taken place at our historic institution. But Edward Waters, as was alluded to earlier in the introduction, is really a place that is a first of first. It is indeed and distinctively the state of Florida's first private independent institution of higher learning. So we have been doing this before anyone else in our entire state in terms of educating young people in this state. We're also the first historically Black college and or university. And sometimes folks ask, well, what do you mean by an HBCU? And succinctly, it is that this institution, founded in 1866, right after the advent of the Civil War, by the African Methodist Episcopal Church, sought to do one thing, and that is to educate what were formerly enslaved African Americans, to give them an access and opportunity to education. Because as we know, it wasn't until the late 60s and early 70s that many African Americans were granted access to majority institutions in our state and throughout our country. So these institutions were created at the turn of, or at the closing of the Civil War, to give African Americans access to a higher education. So when you hear that terminology, HBCU, you're talking about institutions that were founded to provide opportunities for African Americans and persons of all persuasions. These institutions have never been discriminatory, but they were founded to provide opportunities for folks that were historically shut out of having access to a higher education. And so our vision at Edward Waters is to become a national model for dynamic, globally diverse learning. We have a long-standing history of providing high-quality opportunities. We are a Christian institution, as I mentioned earlier, founded by the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And Edward Waters is one of four-year degree granting institutions that belong to the African Methodist Episcopal Church. The first one being at Wilberforce University, which is in Ohio, of course, Edward Waters University, which is here in Jacksonville, Allen University, which is in South Carolina, and then Paul Quinn College, which is in Dallas, Texas. So we have a four-year degree granting and master's degree granting institutions that are part of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Now, a lot of times I get asked, and I've done these presentations before, a lot of times folks will ask, well, talk to me about just kind of some of the things that are going on right now. And so most folks, and you even heard it referenced earlier, the college and Edward Waters College, and we know that that's kind of what the nomenclature has been as it relates to Edward Waters. But back this past summer, we underwent a historic transformation. And so Edward Waters back this summer was, after 155 years, accredited and was officially authorized to move from what is called a level 2 baccalaureate degree granting institution to a level 3 Carnegie level 3 master's degree granting institution. And so that came as a result of our onboarding our first graduate degree program, that being our Master's of Business Administration degree program, which is a program that's actually 100% online. And so we have students from all over the country that are now students at Edward Waters as a part of our first cohort here at Edward Waters University, pursuant to our Master's of Business Administration degree program. Now, I get this question from time to time, and I used to get a little offended, but I don't get offended anymore. And I think it's just some folks just maybe are not aware. But the same accrediting body that accredits Florida State University, the University of Florida, or JU, or UNF, University of Central Florida, Edward Waters is accredited by that same accrediting body, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. Edward Waters has been fully accredited by SAC-COC since 1974, so for over 40 years. And so we are currently fully accredited. As a matter of fact, this past year, in 2021, we just came through our 5th year process where SACS comes back to your institution and checks in to see how you are governing your institution, how your institution is operating. And we came through our 5th year report with SAC-COC with flying colors, and our accreditation was fully reaffirmed, and we won't see SAC-COC again until the fall of 2025. I just wanted to make sure that all of our Rotarians understood our accreditation and how it's analogous to all of the similar accreditations that are held by all of the other great institutions throughout our state.
I am ecstatic and delighted to welcome you to our beautiful campus in celebration of this truly momentous and incredible milestone. As the 30th president and CEO of this remarkable institution, I am exceedingly proud to present the next era in higher educational excellence at the state of Florida's first independent institution of higher learning, and first historically Black college or university at the world's destination institution of emerging eminence. We are Edward Waters University. Indeed, Edward Waters College has now officially become Edward Waters University.
It's very exciting. We're
Jacksonville, but throughout our state and throughout our country, to check out what's going on at Edward Waters. We've just, again, been authorized to offer our first master's degree program.
But the meticulous and assiduous work of President Faison and his extraordinary team, he watered. And today we celebrate that vision and cooperation.
And so again, this is a transformative moment. Edward Waters has a long-standing history of providing high-quality, higher educational opportunities for students for over 150 years. And this is just the next iteration in that process. And so we're looking forward to welcoming even more students that will become a part of the EWC Tiger family.
You were here when we were named EWU, Edward Waters University. So document this moment for your children, for your grandchildren, for your great-great-grandchildren, for all of the individuals who will become alumni of this great institution, the Edward Waters University.
So as you all can see, we really enjoyed a celebratory and really transformative occasion this past summer when we moved from Edward Waters College to Edward Waters University. So whenever you're talking about Edward Waters now, I know it's going to take some time after 155 years, but we are now known as Edward Waters University. And as I mentioned to you earlier, we were able to make that change pursuant to our accrediting body authorizing us to offer our first graduate degree program, which really speaks to the quality of our program, the quality of our instruction at Edward Waters, to move from a level 2 master's degree granting institution to now a master's degree granting institution. SAC-COC is very meticulous around whether they're going to authorize an institution to move to that higher level. And certainly after they assessed our institution, they felt that we were offering a highest quality education that was certainly indicative of their approval to move us from a college to a university. And so as I mentioned earlier, our first cohort of students, we were expecting about 25 students in this first cohort. We actually exceeded that to where we actually have had to push students into our second cohort. But what you see in front of you now are just some of the different institutions that are represented in our first cohort of Masters of Business Administration students. As I mentioned earlier, it's 100% online. So we have students from as far away as the University of Cincinnati, of course here locally UNF and JU, Xavier University in Louisiana, University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. So these are just some of the students that got their undergraduate degrees from these institutions that are now a part of Edward Waters University and are pursuing our Masters of Business Administration degree. So we're very, very excited about this program. And so along with that, we have really experienced phenomenal growth at Edward Waters. A little known fact is that Edward Waters University is actually Jacksonville's fastest growing college or university per any published reports. That's right. During the pandemic, Edward Waters University has actually bucked the national trends. Almost every institution in our city, throughout our state, and throughout the country have seen draconian enrollment declines. That has not been the case at Edward Waters University. Edward Waters has grown 19.1% since 2019. This past year, Edward Waters exceeded over 1,100 students here locally. That's our highest enrollment. 1,110 was actually our final number. It's our highest number of enrolled students in almost 20 years. And this year we had our largest class of new students on record. So we are growing exponentially. Again, 19.1%. Since 2019 makes Edward Waters, a little known fact, when you leave here, you can share with folks that Edward Waters University is actually Jacksonville's fastest growing college or university and the state of Florida's fastest growing HBCU. So we are certainly very, very proud of the growth and growing interest throughout our state and throughout the country in enrolling at Edward Waters University. So we're very, very excited about that development. We are not stopping in terms of our MBA program. We have about 4 different degree programs that we'll be launching within the next 12 months, or that we've just recently received approval to launch. So we're going to be launching about 3 new degree programs at the undergraduate level, that being a a bachelor's degree in social work, a Bachelor of Arts degree in computer and information science. We're looking to send a prospectus for those 2 new academic degree programs to our accrediting body this summer. And then we're anticipating to hear back from them in December, such that we'll begin to offer these new degree programs in the fall of 2023. We were just notified that we were approved to offer a new program, that being our Bachelor of Science in Forensic Science. We submitted that back in July and were approved this past December. And so this coming fall, we'll be offering a Bachelor of Science in Forensic Science. So if you know anyone that loves that television show, CSI, Edward Waters has a great program for them, which is our new Bachelor of Science in Forensic Science, which is a really growing and burgeoning area of study for a lot of students. So in addition to the MBA, we're also adding 2 new graduate degree programs, one of which will be our master's degree in public administration. The prospectus for that will be sent in this summer. We'll hear from SAC-COC, hopefully a positive report in December, and then be able to provide, to open that program up for matriculation of students also in the fall of 2023. But even more closer to home in terms of when we're going to be promulgating these new programs, we also have our Master of Arts in Education Policy and Advocacy program. That program has already been submitted to our accreditor, and we're looking to hear back from them this summer, hopefully in June, such that this program, we can begin enrolling students in this program this coming fall. So if you or anyone you know are interested in getting a master's degree, a Master of Arts degree in Education Policy and Advocacy, we are currently accepting applications. We are currently accepting applications. SAC-COC allows us to accept applications, and we certainly look forward to being able to enroll students this coming fall in 2022. It is a hybrid program, so it's online as well as you have the option of taking it in person. It's affordable. It's 36 credit hours. It can be completed in as little as 12 months. So we're really excited to onboard this second master's degree program here at Edward Waters University. You mentioned earlier about our historic move, which took place this past summer as well. It's been a really great period of transition for us over the past year. For many years, Edward Waters has been a member of the NAIA. A lot of folks are not familiar with the NAIA, although they're older than the NCAA. They're the lesser known in terms of the athletic bodies that govern college athletics. And so we sought to move from the NAIA to the NCAA at the Division II level. We sought to do that, and this past summer, we were very, very blessed to make that historic transition where we were invited by the SIAC conference, which is a national NCAA Division II conference that actually leads the nation in football attendance. We were invited to be a part of that conference because pursuant to our application to the NCAA, we had to have an existing NCAA Division II conference to invite us. And so we got that invitation and then made application about a year or so ago. And then this past summer, we were so excited when the NCAA formally accepted Edward Waters University as a member institution at the NCAA Division II level. And so that makes Edward Waters the state of Florida's only HBCU that competes at the NCAA Division II level. And of course, we're now Jacksonville's only NCAA Division II level member institution. So we're very, very excited about the growth and transformation that we're experiencing in our athletics program. You heard mentioned earlier, we've added sports. We've added men's volleyball, which is one of the most popular and growing sports in the country. Earlier this year, back in January, as a matter of fact, our men's volleyball team took a trip that I know they were just loathing to take all the way out to Hawaii to play the University of Hawaii, which is the defending national champions in men's volleyball. And later this year, we'll have Stanford University and Ohio State University. Yes, the Stanford University and the Ohio State University that will be coming to Jacksonville to play Edward Waters, because in men's volleyball, there's no delineation between Division II and Division I. So our men's volleyball program is just an outstanding program. We also have added women's soccer, women's golf, in partnership with the Players Championship here locally. And so again, our athletics program is really growing. We're looking to add women's tennis is the next one on the radar that we're looking to add very soon. So a really, really exciting time of transformation and growth in our athletic programs here at Edward Waters University. As you can see, our new stadium, which is named, of course, for my predecessor, Dr. Nathaniel Glover, we were able to cut the ribbon on our first on-campus stadium back during the fall. It was just if you have not been out to the Edward Waters campus to see this tremendous facility, you are truly missing something. So you need to come out next fall and catch an Edward Waters University football game. Again, we're competing at the NCAA Division II level in a conference that leads the nation in football attendance at the NCAA level. And we are just so excited for our team. It's an exciting time. If you have never been to an historically Black college or university football game and had an opportunity to experience that culture, hear the band, hear the fans, be a part of all that goes on, you have not lived. So I invite you out to a football game here at Edward Waters University. As we continued our growth in terms of our athletic programs, we also have upgraded our facilities tremendously. That's one of the things that really has been a priority for us around our campus, is to really upgrade many of our facilities from an academic perspective as well as from an athletic perspective. We're really proud that most recently as last week, as a matter of fact, we just completed a complete renovation of our arena at Edward Waters. And what you see now is the brand new arena floor here at Edward Waters. It has not even been played on or anything. It literally just got completed on yesterday. We're also going to be installing about a 16-foot video board. And so we are very proud that we believe now that Edward Waters boasts the NCAA Division II's best arena in the country, and that's not hyperbole. If you would take a look at this arena at this point, it seats almost 4,000, brand new floor, video board, it's got skyboxes. Again, if you have not been out to take part in an Edward Waters University basketball game, you are missing a real treat. So we're very, very proud of this upgrade in our athletics facility as we now have moved to the NCAA Division II level. Very, very proud of this. Well, not to be outdone in our athletics programs, we also have invested very heavily in upgrading our living as well as our learning spaces around our campus. As this past year, about a year or so ago, we were able to do a nearly $250,000 renovation on our campus biology laboratory. Biology is one of our largest majors, third only to our business, as well as our criminal justice programs at our institution. So our biology laboratory has really given the renovation of our biology laboratory has really given our students the opportunity to do research and receive their instruction in a state-of-the-art facility. So we're very, very proud of the investments that are being made in our instructional spaces around our campus. We also have been very intentional about infusing technology into the classroom throughout our university. As everyone knows, the pandemic changed the reality for all of us, particularly in higher education, in terms of how we are transmitting instruction, the modalities that we use in terms of being able for our faculty to transmit the instruction that they give to our students. And so we're proud that every classroom now at Edward Waters is indeed a smart classroom. So our faculty can be in the classroom and be able to interact with students virtually in a virtual environment in a very seamless way. And so we're very proud that we've been able to utilize and infuse high quality technology in all of the classrooms throughout our university campus. We also just erected our new emerging eminence tower on our campus. This is a real communication medium for us on our campus, and it also adds to the aesthetics of our campus as well. Here again, most recently, as we talk about, again, wanting to really invest in improving and enhancing the living, learning, and activity spaces one of the things that I quickly learned when I became president is that students are most interested in three things. Where am I going to eat? Where am I going to live? And where am I going to play? And so we have been very strategic in terms of upgrading and enhancing those spaces around our campus. And about 3 weeks or so ago, we opened our brand new Student Activity Center, which is a hit amongst our students. So we're, again, investing in both the living, learning, and activity spaces around our campus. We also, in partnership with the city of Jacksonville, will later this summer be breaking ground on a very significant upgrade for our community. And we do a lot at Edward Waters in terms of partnerships with our community. As many of you all know, we sit in the heart of Newtown, which is a challenged community from an economic development perspective. And so one of the things that we knew is that many of the citizens in this part of the community don't have access to health and wellness equipment, don't have access to health and wellness activities. And we know that there's a high proliferation of high blood pressure, diabetes that are affecting communities of color, and particularly communities here in Newtown. So in partnership with the city of Jacksonville, we will be breaking ground on a $500,000 brand new state-of-the-art fitness and wellness facility that will be on the Edward Waters campus that will be able to be utilized, however, by citizens in the Newtown community. And certainly our faculty, staff, and students will be able to utilize this facility as well, but we're very excited about it. It's going to have all the ellipticals, all of the bikes, and you can see some of the whirlpools and training facilities and everything. So it's a win-win. It's a tremendous asset for our university in terms of our student athletes, as well as our faculty, staff, and students, as well as members here in the Newtown community. So we're very excited about this and looking to break ground on it later this spring or early in the summer. And we're hopeful that sometime during the fall, we'll be able to open this facility for use by our entire academic community, as well as the citizens here in Newtown that we're so proud to serve. In addition to that, many of you all that might have visited the Edward Waters campus coming down Kings Road, one of the really most prodigious challenges that we faced when I came on as president at Edward Waters is that we've had challenges with regard to us having physical boundaries around our campus. We sit literally in the heart of Newtown right here along the Kings Road corridor. But in many respects, when you're coming down Kings Road, you don't really know when you're coming onto the campus, when you're not coming onto the campus, because the campus in many ways is not contiguous. Well, part of what it is that we are endeavoring to do in this regard, which we started to do about a month or so ago, is to create some actual boundaries for our campus so that you know when you're coming on the Edward Waters University campus. And so we have embarked on a multi-million-dollar project to provide fencing for our campus. It's ornate fencing, and so it really serves a dual purpose. Certainly, it's going to add to the aesthetics and curb appeal of our campus, but it also is going to go a long way towards doing the thing that I'm most charged with doing when parents leave their students here at Edward Waters, and that's to provide an environment that is both safe and secure for our students first, and certainly our faculty and staff as well. So we're really excited about this multi-million-dollar project. We started it about a month or so ago, and eventually, by the time the fall comes, we will have our entire campus footprint with external boundaries so that you know when you're on the Edward Waters University campus. And again, it's going to really add a lot of aesthetic appeal to our campus, but also serve the functional purpose of really providing safety and security for our students, our faculty, and our staff. So we're very, very excited about this new project. As I close here, we also are very excited about a project that we are looking to break ground on sometime in the fall. We've gotten as far at this point as having a term sheet for this, but this is what we envision to be the first new construction of a residence facility on our campus since 1982. So yes, it's long, long, long overdue, but it's our Living, Learning, and Community Center that would house approximately 350 to 400 students, but would also at the same time be a place in the community that members of our Newtown community, citizens in our community, would have an opportunity to frequent in terms of us being able to provide spaces there for meeting, spaces perhaps for financial literacy courses. We're looking at partners that we might be able to provide a small branch bank there and be able to provide tax services, be able to provide a number of different services to the folks in the Newtown community, because Edward Waters often serves as the anchor for this community. And much of that work we do right now through a vehicle called our Shell Suite Center, which serves a lot of seniors and others throughout our community. But we're looking at our Living, Learning, and Community Center to continue that work in terms of being outward facing and helping to support the community in many different facets, but also being inward facing and providing us a newer, more modern facility that meets the needs of these post-millennial students that are now frequenting our campus and that expect that we have facilities that are competitive and that are viable. And certainly as we are growing at Edward Waters, we had students this past year in hotels, not because our facilities weren't where they needed to be, but literally we are now outgrowing the capacity that we have on our campus. And so as we're now experiencing this exponential growth, we've got to make room to be able to accommodate the growth that we're experiencing. So we're very excited about this project. It looks to be about an $18 to $20 million project for this new project. And we're very excited and hopeful that we'll be able to break ground on this new project, new multi-million-dollar project sometime later this coming fall. And lastly, many of you all might have heard this past Friday, we held the very first UNCF Edward Waters University Mayor's Mask Ball, which is a fundraising event to support student scholarships here at Edward Waters University. And certainly it was hosted by our Honorable Mayor, Mayor Lenny Curry. You can see here, it was a packed house, over 500 plus persons were in attendance, and we were successful. We raised nearly $500,000 on Friday night to support students that attend UNCF institutions and that attend Edward Waters University. There you see Mayor Curry, and then our distinguished awardee that night, who was Dr. Janetta Cole, the former president of Spelman College and Bennett College for Women, who was a Jacksonville native. We honored her for her many years of service to education on that evening. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful night. So I hope that you will attend next year. It will be in March of next year. Look for the save the dates that are coming out, but it's a great, great, great event of music, food, and fellowship, and just a great time in support of Jacksonville's historically Black college or university here at Edward Waters University. So again, I thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to share just a little bit about Edward Waters history and some of the contemporaneous things that we have that are going on at our institution. We are proud to be Jacksonville's historically Black university and are looking forward to even more great progress as a part of this wonderful Jacksonville community. Thank everyone so very much for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Faison, for the amazing impact you've had to our community in Edward Waters University. And we also, on the Zoom call today, we also have many of our Rotaractors, Edward Waters University Rotaractors joining us. So we're really proud of those folks too. Once again, thank you to our visitors, Nancy, Scott, Krista, Stuart, Stephen, Dr. Johnson, thank you for joining us, and I hope you come back. Our visiting Rotarians, Krista, Bill, Desi, Jerry, thank you for having to make up with us today, and I hope you choose to make up with us in the future. I'd like, let's see, next week, we'll be meeting right here for lunch at Timuquana. We'll be on Zoom as well. Our speaker will be Major Jillian Erickson from the U.S. Army. Be a great speaker. Don't forget to RSVP for future events, and Will Tesh will lead us in the four-way test.
Fellow Rotarians, please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Will. And thank you again, Dr. Faison, for joining us. The quote of the week is, only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. T.S. Eliot.